Hey everyone, welcome back to the Truly Criminal Network. Today's story is one that shows how quickly life can change. On January 18th, 2025, 17-year-old Nasia Turner was doing what she loved most, connecting with her followers on TikTok. Her bubbly personality filled the screen as she laughed with friends, showing off new dance moves and responding to comments. The video timestamp showed 7:15 p.m. Just 15 minutes later, she would be found unresponsive in the driver's seat of her car, with 7 bullet wounds to her chest. This wasn't some remote location. This wasn't late at night in a dangerous area. This was early evening at a popular shopping mall, surrounded by friends and dozens of witnesses. Her phone was still warm from the TikTok live she had just ended. No one heard gunshots. No one saw the shooter. How does someone get shot 7 times without anyone noticing? Nasia Turner, known as Sia to her 310,000 TikTok followers and 85,000 Instagram fans, had built her online presence through authentic connections with her audience. Originally from South Carolina before moving to California, the Rancho Verde High School student balanced homework with content creation, quickly becoming known for her dance routines and lifestyle vlogs. Friends described Nasia as energetic, compassionate, and resilient. Despite her growing fame, she remained grounded, often sharing candid moments about typical teenage struggles. What made her stand out wasn't just her talent, but her ability to make everyone feel like they knew her personally. The Los Cerritos Center Mall in Cerritos, California, isn't where you'd expect a tragedy. On January 18, 2025, the sprawling shopping center was packed with weekend shoppers, families grabbing dinner, teenagers hanging out, and people finishing their Saturday errands. Security cameras captured Nasia and 4 friends arriving around 7 p.m., laughing as they walked through the parking lot. The temperature was mild, typical for a Southern California winter evening. They parked near the food court entrance, an area well lit and usually considered safe. The mall itself housed over 180 stores and restaurants, making it one of the busiest retail hubs in the area. What happened in the next 30 minutes would shock an entire community and raise disturbing questions about public safety. One moment, Nasia was smiling on camera, surrounded by friends. The next, emergency responders rushed to save a young life slipping away. For 10 minutes, a bystander performed CPR, desperately trying to keep her alive. But it was too late. No witnesses reported hearing gunshots. No security cameras captured a shooter. How could someone fire 7 shots in a crowded parking lot without being seen? And more importantly, why target a 17-year-old whose only crime was finding success on social media? Nasia's story sits at the crossroads of 3 American realities: social media fame, youth vulnerability, and gun violence. For today's teenagers, online popularity can arrive suddenly, bringing attention, both wanted and unwanted, from thousands of strangers. Young influencers face unique dangers their parents never had to navigate. Their locations, habits, and daily routines become public knowledge. Meanwhile, gun violence continues to claim young lives across the country, often in places we assume are safe. This case forces us to confront uncomfortable questions. Does social media fame make young people targets? And are our public spaces truly secure for our children? If you're watching this video right now, you likely know someone, maybe even your own child, who dreams of social media fame. But how many of us understand the potential dangers? Nasia's story isn't just another true crime case. It's a wake-up call about the world our young people navigate daily. I want you to pause right now and consider, what safety conversations are we not having with young influencers? Comment below with one thing you think teens should know before building a public profile online. If this topic matters to you, please hit that subscribe button and join our community of critical thinkers. Your subscription helps us continue exposing these important stories. Share this video with parents, educators, or any young person with social media ambitions. Every like helps push this conversation to people who need to hear it. Together, we can learn from Nasia's tragedy and potentially save lives, because no family should lose a child to violence that might have been prevented. Nasia's story began far from California, in the small community of Greenville, South Carolina. Born to a middle-class family, Nasia spent her early years in a neighborhood where everyone knew each other's names. Former neighbors described her as the girl who organized impromptu dance competitions on her front lawn, inviting children from blocks away to participate. When Nasia was 14, her family relocated to Moreno Valley, California for her father's job opportunity. The transition wasn't easy. Moving across the country meant leaving childhood friends and familiar surroundings. In interviews, Nasia mentioned feeling like the perpetual new kid. California's vastly different culture initially overwhelmed her. She spoke about missing South Carolina's slower pace and close-knit community feel. However, this challenge ultimately shaped her resilience. She later told followers that this major life change taught her to reinvent herself and find confidence in new situations, a skill that would prove valuable when navigating sudden internet fame. Those who knew Nasia personally often highlighted three core qualities that defined her character. First, her boundless energy. Teachers noted she was always the first to volunteer for activities and the last to quit practicing dance routines. Second, her genuine empathy. Friends recalled how she'd remember small details about their troubles and check in weeks later. Third, her remarkable adaptability. When faced with obstacles, she viewed them as opportunities to grow rather than setbacks. Her high school basketball coach mentioned that Nasia possessed a rare combination of competitive drive and genuine kindness that made her both respected and well-liked by peers across different social circles. Nasia's TikTok journey began almost accidentally. In late 2023, she posted a video of herself dancing to a popular song, expecting only friends to see it. By morning, it had 50,000 views. Surprised by the response, she experimented with more content, quickly learning which videos resonated with audiences. Her follower count jumped from hundreds to thousands within weeks. A collaboration with an established influencer in early 2024 pushed her following past 100,000. When a celebrity shared one of her dance challenges, her account gained another 150,000 followers overnight. What started as casual fun had transformed into a platform reaching hundreds of thousands. Nasia's content stood out in TikTok's crowded landscape. Her dance videos featured a blend of hip-hop choreography and her own creative movements, often incorporating trending songs with her unique twist.
Okay, so cooking with Sada. We got a salad with some bacon, some croutons, and some sweet and sour shrimp. And this is going to him. Try it.
Her lifestyle vlogs offered glimpses into everyday moments, homework struggles, family dinners, shopping trips, making fame feel accessible to viewers. Unlike many influencers who showcased only perfection, Nasia shared both ups and downs, from failed dance attempts to honest talks about confidence issues. Her comment sections filled with gratitude from followers who appreciated her authenticity. "You're the only influencer who feels like a real friend," became a common sentiment beneath her videos. At Rancho Verde High School, Nasia maintained a solid 3.7 GPA while participating in the dance team and student government. Teachers described her as intellectually curious, particularly in her favorite subjects, English and media studies. She served as a peer tutor in the Writing Center twice weekly, helping classmates improve their essays. Despite her growing online recognition, most teachers noted she never sought special treatment or mentioned her TikTok success in class. Her English teacher remembered Nasia discussing plans to study communications in college, with aspirations to eventually work in digital media or entertainment journalism. Dreams that showed she viewed her social media presence as a stepping stone. Balancing 310,000 followers with homework deadlines presented unique challenges. Nasia developed a strict schedule, dedicating mornings to schoolwork, afternoons to extracurriculars, and evenings to content creation. She limited filming to 2-hour blocks and set boundaries by turning off notifications during family dinners and study sessions. Her parents established rules too, maintaining grades above B+ and prioritizing in-person friendships. When recognition in public spaces began affecting her daily life, Nasia adapted by visiting malls during off hours and finding quieter hangout spots with friends. Despite growing pressure to post constantly, She enforced digital detox, weekends monthly to stay grounded. What distinguished Nasia from many social media personalities was her commitment to genuine audience connection. She responded to comments personally, often starting conversations with followers about their lives. Weekly Q&A sessions addressed everything from dance advice to handling school pressure. When a fan mentioned losing a parent, Nasia privately messaged support resources. For her 300,000 follower milestone, she hosted a virtual dance class benefiting a youth arts program. Her DMs showed messages from teenagers saying her content helped them through difficult days.
Around. But Dylan missed it. He want to get offline and stuff. Like, no. He talking about wear my outfit, show my outfit. It's regular. This is regular.
It wasn't just audience building, it was community cultivation. As one follower wrote, "Sia doesn't have fans, she has friends she hasn't met yet." January 18th, 2025 began as an ordinary Saturday for Nasia. According to her social media activity, she woke around 9 a.m., posted a morning routine video, then attended her younger brother's basketball game at noon. At 3 p.m., she shared photos with her family at lunch. By 5 p.m., she was messaging friends about meeting at Los Cerritos Center. Security footage confirms she arrived at the mall at 6:52 p.m. with 4 friends in her car. Between 7 and 7:15 p.m., she went live on TikTok while sitting in her parked car, showing off new purchases and talking about upcoming content plans. Los Cerritos Center buzzes with activity on weekends. That Saturday was no exception. The 2-story mall drew typical crowds: families browsing sales racks, teenagers congregating around the food court, couples on dinner dates. Store employees reported normal business levels for a January weekend. Security cameras captured standard foot traffic throughout the day. The mall's central courtyard hosted a small pop-up event featuring local artists, drawing clusters of young people. The parking lot filled to about 80% capacity by early evening, with the west entrance, where Nasia parked, particularly busy due to its proximity to popular restaurants. Nothing about the day suggested it would end differently than any other shopping Saturday. At 7:19 p.m., Nasia ended her TikTok live with a promise to return after dinner. Security footage shows her friends exiting the car to secure a restaurant table while she stayed behind to apply lip gloss and respond to comments. At 7:25 p.m., she texted a friend, "Coming in 2 mins, order me the usual." At 7:28 p.m., a group of shoppers walked past her car, noting nothing unusual. By 7:30 p.m., when a friend returned to check on her delay, Nasia was found slumped over the steering wheel. Her phone had fallen to the floor, still open to TikTok comments. Jeremy Paguia, manager of a nearby electronics store, provided key eyewitness testimony. "I heard yelling, not gunshots. When I looked outside, teenagers were running toward a parked car." Another witness, Maria Delgado, had been loading shopping bags 3 spaces away. The girl's friends were screaming her name. One boy kept saying, "She's not moving," over and over. Mall security guard Thomas Wright noticed the commotion from across the lot. "I saw no suspicious persons fleeing the area. By the time I reached the vehicle, several people were already calling 911. Notably, not a single witness reported hearing gunshots, despite the close quarters. The parking lot transformed from shopping center to emergency zone in minutes. Nasia's friends rushed back and forth between the restaurant and car, screaming for help. Shoppers dropped bags to call 911. Parents pulled children away from the scene. Mall security attempted to establish a perimeter while dozens of onlookers gathered, phones recording. One of Nasia's friends collapsed in tears when emergency medical technicians arrived. Another frantically called Nasia's parents. The confusion intensified as rumors spread rapidly through the crowd. Some claimed a fight had occurred. Others suggested a medical emergency. No one yet realized they were witnessing the aftermath of a shooting. A retired nurse shopping at the mall took immediate action, performing CPR on Nasia for approximately 10 minutes before paramedics arrived. "I didn't know it was a gunshot wound at first," she later told reporters. "I just saw a young girl who needed help." Emergency responders reached the scene at 7:41 p.m., just 11 minutes after the initial 911 calls. They took over resuscitation efforts, working frantically as they transported her to the ambulance. Despite their advanced medical equipment and training, they couldn't reverse the damage. Paramedics later confirmed that the gunshot wounds had caused catastrophic internal bleeding, making survival virtually impossible, even with immediate medical intervention. Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department officers arrived at 7:45 p.m., quickly cordoning off the entire west parking section. Detective Teresa Jones took command, ordering an immediate review of security footage and witness interviews. 4 of Nasia's friends were separated and taken to patrol cars for questioning. By 8:30 p.m., the mall announced early closure, asking all shoppers to exit through the east entrance. Officers discovered an unusual detail that complicated their investigation. Despite Nasia sustaining 7 gunshot wounds, no bullet casings were found in or around the vehicle. By midnight, her parents had identified her body, and the official homicide investigation began. The details of Nasia's final moments leave us with profound questions about youth safety in our communities. How could this happen in a crowded public space? What measures might have prevented this tragedy? This isn't just about one teenager. It's about all young people navigating both physical and digital worlds filled with unseen dangers. As you process this story, I want to ask, what safety conversations are we missing with our youth? What practical steps can communities take to better protect young people in public spaces? Your insights matter in this conversation. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Real solutions come from community wisdom. If you're concerned about youth safety and want to join a community dedicated to understanding these issues, please subscribe. Each subscription helps amplify these crucial discussions. Every like and share extends this conversation to those who need to hear it: parents, educators, and young people themselves. Together, we can work toward preventing another senseless loss like Nasia's. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department mobilized their homicide bureau immediately. Detective Teresa Jones led a team of 12 investigators who worked through the night processing the crime scene. They collected Nasia's phone, examined her vehicle for fingerprints and DNA, and gathered all available security footage from mall cameras. By sunrise, they had interviewed 23 witnesses and mapped the entire parking lot. Forensic analysts confirmed 7 entry wounds but recovered no bullets. They had passed through her body and weren't found in the car or surrounding area. This unusual detail, combined with the absence of shell casings, suggested the use of a specialized weapon or ammunition. 4 individuals, all friends who had accompanied Nasia to the mall, underwent extensive questioning. 2 17-year-old classmates from Rancho Verde High School, an 18-year-old cousin visiting from South Carolina, and a 16-year-old who collaborated on TikTok videos with Nasia, spent 6 hours with investigators. Their statements aligned consistently. They had been inside securing restaurant seating, while Nasia remained in the car. Phone records confirmed text messages exchanged at the reported times. GPS data verified their phones were inside the mall when the shooting occurred. After polygraph tests showed no deception, all 4 were released and classified as witnesses rather than suspects. 2 months into the investigation, authorities had yet to name any suspects. The lack of physical evidence severely hampered progress. No weapon was recovered. No fingerprints, except those of Nasia and her friends, appeared on the vehicle. Security cameras captured hundreds of mall visitors that evening, but none exhibited suspicious behavior near her car. Background checks on people who had interacted with Nasia online revealed no credible threats. Anonymous tips flooded the department's hotline, but none led to actionable leads. Her parents hired a private investigator who similarly hit walls. Detective Hernandez admitted at a February press conference, this case presents unique challenges that standard investigative protocols haven't resolved. The most perplexing aspect remains how someone fired 7 shots without being seen or heard in a busy parking lot. Ballistics experts suggested the perpetrator likely used a weapon with a sound suppressor, explaining the lack of audible gunshots. This indicates premeditation rather than impulse. But who would target a 17-year-old influencer? Investigators explored multiple angles. Was this connected to online harassment? Could it be linked to jealousy from a rival content creator? Did Nasaya unknowingly witness something dangerous? Or was this a case of mistaken identity? Without concrete evidence pointing to specific individuals, authorities couldn't narrow down which motive seemed most probable. Two competing theories emerged among investigators. The first suggests Nasaya was specifically targeted. The precision of 7 shots, use of a suppressor, and absence of evidence point to planning and intent. Her growing social media presence may have attracted unwanted attention from obsessed followers or individuals envious of her success. The second theory proposes she fell victim to random violence, perhaps a gang initiation, a botched robbery, or a case of mistaken identity. Some investigators note the lack of prior threats and the public location align with opportunistic crime patterns. Both theories have gaps, leaving authorities to pursue multiple avenues simultaneously without clear direction. Investigators faced extraordinary obstacles in this case. The absence of physical evidence like bullets or shell casings eliminated crucial forensic leads. The shooter's ability to act undetected in a crowded location suggested unusual skill or preparation. Digital evidence proved overwhelming. With over 300,000 followers, examining all potential online threats became nearly impossible. Mall security footage quality varied dramatically between areas, creating blind spots in the visual timeline. Media attention generated public theories that consumed investigative resources. Weather conditions that night had washed away potential evidence before investigators realized its significance. Perhaps most challenging, without knowing whether this was random or targeted, authorities couldn't effectively narrow their focus. As of March 2025, the case remained unsolved. The Sheriff's Department assigned 3 additional detectives to the investigation team and partnered with FBI digital forensics experts to analyze Nasaya's online communications. A $50,000 reward for information was announced in February, generating hundreds of new tips that investigators continued to evaluate. Anonymous donors added another $25,000 to the reward fund. Authorities began cross-referencing similar cases nationwide, looking for patterns in unsolved shootings of young social media personalities. Detective Hernandez maintained public updates bi-weekly, but acknowledged diminishing leads. The investigation officially transitioned from active to active cold status in early March. The Moreno Valley community refused to let Nasaya's case fade into statistical obscurity. Weekly vigils at Rancho Verde High School drew hundreds. Her classmates launched a Justice for Saya campaign that trended nationally. Mall employees formed a coalition demanding enhanced security measures. Local parents organized neighborhood watch groups specifically focusing on teen gathering spots. Nasaya's dance team performed tribute routines at community events, keeping her story in public consciousness. Her TikTok followers coordinated mass comment initiatives on police departments' social media, pushing for case updates. Her former teachers created a scholarship in her name. As one community organizer stated, "We won't stop until someone answers for what happened to her." Nasaya's death adds to a disturbing American statistic. Over 45,000 lives lost annually to gun violence. This isn't just a criminal justice issue, it's a public health emergency. Young people between 15 to 24 face disproportionate risk, with gun violence now the leading cause of death in this age group. What makes this case particularly alarming is the location, a highly trafficked shopping center previously considered safe. Safety experts note that as gun violence extends beyond historically high-crime areas into everyday public spaces, traditional prevention strategies become insufficient. Communities nationwide report similar incidents in malls, schools, and parks, revealing how violence increasingly touches spaces where young people gather, regardless of demographic factors. Young social media influencers face dangers unknown to previous generations. Their physical locations become public knowledge through geotags and background details in videos. Their routines, where they shop, eat, and socialize, are broadcast to thousands, including potential bad actors. Their success breeds both admiration and resentment. Unlike established celebrities, most young influencers lack security teams or privacy protections. They navigate fame without the safeguards that traditionally accompany public recognition. Dr. Elena Vasquez, social media researcher, explains, These teenagers achieve substantial visibility without corresponding protection systems. They're essentially public figures with private individual vulnerabilities, a dangerous combination when their audience includes thousands of anonymous followers whose intentions remain unknown. Digital safety education lags dangerously behind social media growth. Most young creators receive no formal training on protecting personal information. They inadvertently reveal home locations through backgrounds in videos, school details in captions, and daily patterns in content. Parents, often less tech-savvy than their children, struggle to recognize these exposures. Simple actions, posting in real time, sharing location data, or responding to messages from unknown accounts, can create serious risk. Most concerning is how platform algorithms reward consistent personal disclosure. The more authentic and revealing the content, the more engagement it receives. This creates a dangerous incentive structure where privacy becomes an obstacle to success. Social media platforms bear significant responsibility, yet provide minimal protections for young creators. Current safety features, content filtering, reporting systems, and privacy settings address online harassment but ignore real-world risks stemming from online exposure. Platforms profit from young influencers' content without investing adequately in their physical safety. Basic protective measures like delayed posting options showing content hours after recording, automated location scrubbing from uploads, and verified-only comment sections exist technologically but remain unimplemented. Platform representatives cite user freedom and engagement metrics when questioned about these gaps. Meanwhile, young creators must choose between growth, requiring personal disclosure, and safety, requiring privacy. An impossible dilemma that platforms have the power to resolve. Nasia's memory lives on through meaningful action. Her high school established the Turner Digital Safety Initiative, providing workshops on privacy protection for students with online ambitions. Her dance team performs at schools nationwide, combining entertainment with safety education. The hashtag Protect Young Creators, inspired by her story, has generated over 200 million impressions and sparked policy discussions. Her parents channel their grief into advocacy, meeting with legislators about strengthening public space security measures. Most powerfully, thousands of young influencers now begin videos with "Staying Safe for Sia" before sharing content. Her 17 years continue to create positive change despite her absence. Nasia's story reveals a critical gap in how we protect young people across both physical and virtual environments. Traditional safety advice, avoid dangerous areas, don't talk to strangers, fails to address how online and offline worlds now intersect. Parents who carefully monitor physical locations may miss digital vulnerabilities. Schools teaching stranger danger rarely cover follower management strategies. Security professionals focus on physical spaces without considering how online exposure creates real-world targets. Moving forward requires integrated approaches that acknowledge this new reality. Young people deserve comprehensive protection that recognizes their interconnected existence. Until we develop safety frameworks addressing both spaces simultaneously, teenagers like Nasia remain caught between outdated protections and evolving threats. Nasia's story shouldn't end here, and with your help, it won't. Her life matters beyond this video, and the lessons from her tragedy could save lives. If you believe young creators deserve better protection, please hit the subscribe button now. Your subscription doesn't just support our channel, it strengthens a community demanding better safeguards for young people in both digital and physical spaces. Share this video with parents of teenagers who dream of online fame. Forward it to teachers, coaches, and anyone who works with young people. One conversation sparked by Nasia's story could prevent another family from experiencing such heartbreak. Comment below with one action you'll take this week to better protect the young people in your life. Will you have the difficult conversation about digital safety? Will you advocate for better security in public spaces? Let's honor Nasia's memory by creating a world where young creators can safely share their gifts without sacrificing their security.